Makakausap po natin si Ginoong Alan James Montenegro. Sir Alan, good morning. Ito po ang Balitapatan with Peter and Rica sa DCMM. How are you, sir?
Okay naman.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Ayan, oo. Sir Alan, so let's start off with do you think merong tayong pwedeng tanawin na maganda dito? Will it even prosper, do you think, etong panukalang tanggalin ng travel tax na medyo, actually, masakit na bukod sa nakakahilo kung kailan mo ba babayaran pagbili mo ba ng ticket o pagdating mo sa airport saka mo lang babayaran ito. Sir, go ahead, Sir Alan.
The question is whether I think we should take the travel tax out or not, right?
Yes, and will this bill even prosper?
I'm not sure about the bill. I'm not sure whether that will be that will prosper or not, right? I mean, that really depends on how many congressmen really are for it and not for it, right? But dun sa travel tax mismo, I think it's helped a lot, really, the travel tax in developing the tourism infrastructure, right? I mean, just recently, for example, the WTA tournament that was held in Rizal Coliseum, that came from the bulk of the funding came from travel tax as well, right? So there's a lot of projects that are being done by TIESA that really are needed for the tourism sector, right? I mean, yes. So at this point, when our infrastructure is not very good in tourism, I think we still need the travel tax in place.
Okay. Would you have any idea what the total travel tax is? Let's say for 2025, Sir Alan.
Off the top of my head, I don't have, but it is in the presentation of Mark Lapid, and I think they've surpassed the previous years already, right?
Okay. The travel tax actually finances TIESA with its so-called tourism development projects. Even the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, with its tourism-related projects, no? The National Commission for Culture and the Arts, or NCCA, with its National Endowment Fund for Culture and the Arts.
Yes.
So
all of those benefit from the travel tax. It's not just the tourism sector.
Exactly. So on paper, para pong ang ganda-ganda, ang daming na benepisyohan nito, no? Pero who's really managing all this? Is the travel tax with the Department of Finance or with the Department of Tourism? Who's in charge of this, sir?
The 50% is under the Department of Tourism, but under TIESA particularly, right? The balance really goes to, I think it's 50 or 60% off the top of my head, right? The balance goes to CHED and the National Commission on Culture and Arts, right? But also TIESA is the one who pays for all the admin costs in collecting the travel tax, right? That's from what I recall from the presentation of TIESA, right? So I think that's about 10% of their 10 to 15% of their total costs. So that's deducted from the travel tax. So they're the ones who pay for all of the admin costs to collect the tax, right?
If we look at traveling in the Philippines, Sir Alan, ang daming nagsasabi na it's more expensive traveling in the Philippines. Kaya yung iba, ang ginagawa, they just go outside because it's the same amount lang din na kanilang gagastusin. Even less expensive than when you travel within the country. So kung titignan natin yung travel tax natin, if you think that scrapping it is out of the table, pwede bang babaan na lang natin yung travel tax just to make it a little easier for domestic tourism to have more boost?
I don't think the travel tax will affect domestic tourism naman because it's only for international travel, right? There's no travel tax in domestic tourism.
Oh, so pang international lang po pala siya.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes. So it was started during the previous Marcos administration to discourage international travel, right? So there is no impact on domestic tourism. Now, if you ask why sometimes domestic cost is higher than international cost, and why we have this perception na mas mahal tayo dito sa Pilipinas. There's a lot of factors naman talaga that really affect the cost of the travel. It's not just the travel tax or whatever tax, right? It's really a lot of factors. Tourism one is not. It's not just one area, right? There's the we're really dependent on a lot of high costs. Gasoline cost is higher, electricity cost is higher. The cost of doing business in the Philippines is generally higher than a lot of other Asian countries. So that affects our overall cost, right?
There's
Okay.
also, sorry, partner.
Go ahead,
There's
go ahead,
also one, I remember that we were talking also about raising the travel tax for those in the business class, or that's the one even higher than that, and scrapping off yung sa may economic economy class. Pag tinignan po natin dito, ito, do you think that's feasible or fair even?
I think it'll just complicate the issue, right? Yeah, it's just going to complicate the issue. Maybe, yeah, I'm sure there's a win-win solution that people can think about, but at this point, I think that will just complicate the issue and make it more complex for people to remember how much they have to pay, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about the difference between travel tax and terminal fee. Can you kindly clarify this, sir?
I think the terminal fees really goes to the entity that owns the terminal, right? It doesn't go to there's a portion, the big chunk of that goes to the entity that operates the terminal. So whether that be San Miguel or whatever entity, that they get the bulk of the terminal fees.
Yeah.
And that's how they recoup a lot of their cost. Yes.
So you have the terminal fee apart from the travel tax.
Yes.
Yeah. The travel tax is, I don't know whether this is still current, 2,700 for first class travelers and 1,620 pesos for economy class passengers, or yung tinatawag na coach. And as you mentioned earlier, Sir Alan, iba na yung konteksto ngayon eh. So do you feel that the travel tax at the very least should be reviewed or taken out altogether?
I mean, there's no harm in reviewing it and reviewing the policy, right? And looking at it in depth and trying to see. Maybe there's a glide path to removing it. I'm not sure, right? But there was talk before, because a lot of the funds that are being sent out to other areas like CHED are not being used, right? So there are talks that maybe that should all go to tourism, and maybe that should be the glide path, meaning that after X number of years, it will phase out, right? But that is for really people to determine. That's not my job, right? But there has to be a middle ground, right? But if you ask me if it's at the moment, if it's beneficial to tourism, yes, it's beneficial, because we really need a lot of infrastructure, and that's supposed to be what it's supposed to be used for, right?
So this travel tax, just to be very, very sure, applies only to Filipinos traveling abroad.
Correct.
So it's not something that will be charged to a foreign traveler going
Going
to
in
the
the
Philippines and going out of the Philippines.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe it's an unfair comparison, no? Pero naalala ko yung road users tax na sinisingil pag nanonood tayo ng sine. Oo. And the problem with that is there seems to be we are clueless as to saan na napunta yun? Saan ginamit yun? The same question, I think, can be asked of the travel tax. Saan napunta yan? Magkano talagang kinita niyan? Paano napakinabangan yan? Is that are those fair questions, Sir Alan?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I've listened to the presentations of Mark Lapid in the past, right? And I've seen that a lot of them are really, like, for example, the renovation of the Mount Data facility that was care of the travel tax, the current ongoing renovation of the Banawe Hotel that is also funded from travel tax, the rehabilitation of the sewage treatment facilities in Boracay, that is out of the travel tax. There's a lot of other projects out there that is really coming out, is being done by TIASA that is coming out of this travel tax, right? So I mean, during COVID, a bulk of that money that was used during COVID also came from the travel tax, right? That's why I think after COVID, yes, it was really in dire straits, no? So there is a lot of funding that is being used from the travel tax to fund different projects of the infrastructure projects that are supposed to help tourism.
Why not make travel tax applicable also to tourists coming into the country? Kung ang aim lang din naman natin, Sir Alan, is to have more funds para sa ating tourism development projects.
That is another question for the lawmakers, right? I mean, it's just for me, it will just add another layer of complexity for tourists that they won't understand why they have to pay for that. That's my point of view, right? It's just going to make it more complicated to tourists. They don't understand they won't understand what this travel tax they have to pay on top of the regular tax they're paying already for their tickets, right? So that's not going to give us a competitive advantage.
Yeah. Oh, let's not add to the problem kasi sa Boracay na. Mga 74 yata yung fees na binabayaran dun eh.
Ang dami naman
May
pala.
terminal fee, may environmental
Fee nga lang alam ko.
Oo, di ba? I love the Philippines. Opo.
Kaya pala.
Sir Alan, one last question please. Saan ba talaga binabayaran yung travel tax? Is it when you buy the ticket for an airfare, halimbawa, is that dapat ba nandun na yung travel tax or pipila ka pa ulit doon pagdating mo sa airport para magbayad ng travel tax? Ano ba talaga ang dito ang rule?
What I know is that if you buy from a travel agency, a lot of travel agencies already incorporate the travel tax. If you buy from Philippine Airlines and PAL, whether that be online or on the counter, they incorporate the travel tax. If you buy from a third-party website, let's say like Agoda, Trip.com, an online ticket agency or ticketing agency, they don't incorporate the travel tax. So that's when you have to pay on the counter, right?
Yeah.
So it really depends where you buy the tickets. But what I've noticed is that I think you can also pay now through eGov, the app.
eGov.
Yes, you can also pay for that there. I tried that one time. But they've also done a lot of things to make it easier. In the past, parang they used to only accept cash. It was a nightmare, right? So now they accept credit card, they accept GCash, they accept different modes of payment, and that they made it a lot easier to pay travel tax, which is good.
Yeah. Yung airfare natin medyo mataas na talaga. Tapos dadagdagan pa ng travel tax. Merong pang terminal fee. Syempre, meron pang porter fee. 'Di ba? Ang dami na talagang binabayaran. So, staycation na lang. Sir Alan, thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
We will definitely monitor this, no, because after all, it's House Majority Leader Sandro Marcos who filed this bill seeking to abolish travel tax, and we'll find out kung meron tayong pag-asa dito. Sir Alan, maraming salamat.
Thank you.
All right.
Hello, Sir Alan.
Sir Alan James Montenegro, President ng Tourism Congress of the Philippines.
Dami kong natutunan doon